Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. It's a special Friday because we have got two shows today, not one. This is our Premier League Matchday 3 preview show, the Matchday, which I don't think anybody cares about at this point, but we might care about it tomorrow. But after all the euphoria of Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United, I think we'll die down and we'll actually try to focus on what's important, which is the football. And so to that end, I think it's my first show where I've got four people on today, so it's a bit of a nice record there, aside from the trivia shows. But anyway, welcome back to the show, Aakash. It's great to have you again. Nice to see you back again after the last one. And also welcome back, Gaurav. It's again great to have you as well joining the show after last week. So it's wonderful to have you. And Sagar as well. Great to have you back on this show. And although I said I was going to ban him, last one we have Nishikant back on the show. But yeah, so it's
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yes, it's always great to have you guys. So anyway, before we get started, Nishikant and Gaurav, let's get your perspective. We'll address the elephant in the room. We had the United fans' perspective, but maybe we'll address the elephant in the room with the Cristiano Ronaldo signing. Nishikant, what do you think? Ronaldo to United, is that a game changer, or do you think it's repeating past mistakes?
No, it is a great game changer, and definitely. I mean, despite his age, he's one of the most deadliest goal scorers in the history of the game. So with Sancho and United, I think you have an attack that could probably compensate for the lack of defensive midfielder, right? Because United haven't done anything, and I think it's maybe too late. But given how this transfer window is going, you never know, right? Things are happening very quickly. So, but yeah, this firmly puts you guys on top, and I think a title is yours to lose.
Don't please, just don't. Okay, okay. Where's the remote button? Like, oh my god, I got the issues. Oh my, and look at what he's got in the background. He's got the Champions League thing in the background, and he's like, a title is ours to put.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't help
we
yourself.
make do
Anyway,
with what we have,
please.
right? We don't have a Ronaldo, we don't have a Messi.
You have a
Make do with what
Lukaku.
we have.
You have a
Yeah,
Lukaku, and you have Werner, and you have Tuchel. Okay, and you have Kante, by the way, as well as the UEFA Men's Player of the Year, Jorginho.
Yeah, I'm
The
very
best,
bullish about our chances.
yeah,
This
the
season.
best player in Europe now.
Yeah, but I would still say title is now United's to lose
No, it's not.
because
No,
City
no. Okay.
they
Yeah.
took
Okay. Where's the mute button? No. Okay.
the City are just being whoever they go
no. There
after.
are
People
holes.
just
We'll come to that. We'll come to that later. Gaurav, do you have any thoughts?
I actually agree with Nishikant on this. I think he is like he will be 37 in a month or so, but he is a proven in February. Yeah. So like 4 5 months, but he is a proven goal scorer, and I think United lacked it, especially with the Rashford injury. I mean, Cavani is good, but he's not quite that level of Ronaldo. So yeah, you may compensate, lack of that holding midfielder, which I don't know. You might sign it. Say United are interested in Sound, right?
Yeah.
But I think
Chelsea interested as well. But
yeah, this is the season where
yeah, I think the transfer. Well, I don't think so. I mean, again, Gaurav, I think there's some mute. I don't know. Okay. No, I mean there are some holes, and I think if you're interested in seeing the analysis, we can check out the the video that we did for Ronaldo joining United to get some idea of that. That's for the people who are watching. Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see how Ronaldo fits in and what do they do about the midfielder situation. I'm not sure if Sol Niguez is the answer because he's not really a CDM, though he plays as a left wing back these days for Atletico. So I mean something to keep an eye out on. But anyway, let's not worry about it. Ronaldo's not going to play this weekend, whatever happens. So we got to focus now on the people that are in the team, and that's what we're going to focus on that. Let's begin. Arsenal against Manchester City, and it's a great way to start the weekend. But before that, Gaurav, no 150 million striker. We all thought that was happening. That's not happening. It's Ronaldo's not happening. What should City do now at this point? Do they now say we're not going to get a striker, or whatever we're going to get is a downgrade? So let's work on what we have. Or do you think they should still try and sign a striker before the end of that transfer window?
No, I don't think we're going to sign another striker because there are 4 days left and we are not really linked with anyone. And I think I would the mistake of signing Grealish first. I think if we hadn't signed him for 100 million, maybe we could have forced Levi to sell him for 120, 30 million, the amount which we are ready to pay. But no, striker is not going to happen. We'll have to make way with Ferran and Jesus for this season.
Yeah. To make do with what we have, isn't it? something that you hear from City fans. Aakash, though, let's talk about Arsenal quickly. 6-0 against West Brom. Yes, it is West Brom, but they finally got goals on the board. So, I mean, as people are talking, if they don't score against City, they may not have a goal of the month award or whatever. But now they have 6 goals for that. So that is there. But is that something that will give them confidence? Do you think it's going to matter going into this game, that the slight confidence boost you get, or do you think it's just one of those? Well, it's just West Brom. How do you look at it?
Yes, I mean they did score 6 goals, and for any team it can be a confidence booster. But when you face the champions, so that's again like it can be difficult for your mentality. Like the first game, you lost to Brentford by 2 goals, and then you're coming in and facing Man City. Then before that you lost to Chelsea, and now Man City. So there will be something in back of their mind that losing 3 games in a row, and that might put them at the bottom of the table, and they will start the panic button. The owners basically. So I have also read about the rumors that Arteta could be in trouble, like in the first 3 weeks, as early as that. But when you compare these two teams, I mean, there's only one winner. It's obviously Man City. So I don't think there stands any chance for Arsenal in this game, and I think Man City will rip them apart.
Yeah, and that's the way it's looking. But we will see. Football is a funny old game. Sagar, I guess now the question for City, sorry, not for City, for Arsenal. They lost it tactically against Chelsea. I think Nishikant will tell you that as well. They lost it tactically against Chelsea. How do they structure the defense? Do they now go to a back three against City? Should they do that, or do they say, well, you know what, we'll just stick with the 4 because now we've got Odegaard to put into that midfield?
Look, even if they go for a back three, I don't know how they'll shape out because they don't have Ben White yet. I think he's still recovering from COVID. So maybe that won't be a very good idea. But yes, they need to be very defensive against City because otherwise they'll come scoring a lot of goals. So I don't think they should focus more on attack. It would be better, to just sit back and defend and maybe probably try to score on a counter because City won't allow them a free run.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key. I think, I don't think there's any other way to play against City. You have to play defensively. I think Norwich tried to play a little bit offensive and they got hammered. Was final they got hammered. Nishikant, I guess Odegaard will have to start. I guess he should start. Maybe he should start. But if he does come in, who do you take out from the team that started against Chelsea? Who would you take out from that one?
Oh, I mean, people who started against, I think
Pepe, Martinelli, Saka, and Smith Rowe. I guess those were the 4 positions that you look at. So who would you take out?
Yeah, so Smith Rowe had a good game. I think in order they should go for back 3, and I would say put Saka as a left wing back. He has played there before, so I wouldn't take Saka out. You could take, Martinelli didn't have a good game against Chelsea, right? So he would be an obvious choice. Right? So I would say you can take out Martinelli. Pepe still has pace, and I think his pace might come in handy against a high line of Manchester City. So you might want to keep him. So I would say take Martinelli out and put Odegaard over there. But coming to your original question, how much of a confidence they would gain from their win against West Brom, I think they can take some positives from that, but there is no reason for City to not be confident because they thrashed 5 themselves in Premier League. So confident or not confident, I think the gulf in class is too big. So I would expect City to win, but then Arsenal have it in them to kind of manage to do something, get a point or something, get a draw or something from this game, these kind of games, and do well, kind of thing. So I wouldn't put it past that, but I don't see Arsenal winning this game, regardless of how confident they might be, unless City, do implode or do something self-destructing. But
it'll be interesting if you do go with the back 3. I guess you have to decide who you take off, but then I guess Aubameyang will have to come in as well because he got a hat trick, so you got to play him. So it might be the Odegaard starts on the bench, or Martinelli and Pepe both come off, and then you bring in Odegaard and Aubameyang. So I mean, I'm sure a lot of fans would be Arsenal fans would be happy with Pepe not starting. But Gaurav, I mean, the only question now, I guess, for City in regards to this game is. I suppose John Stones is still not available, so I think that three is sorted. They're not gonna have they're not gonna have one left back. Which, by the way, I joke about it, but actually it's not serious. I think if those, I mean, I know it's still allegations, but if those are true, I think Mendy needs to be
Very serious
seriously punished. There's no room for such people in any part of life, really, let alone football.
He has been denied the bail, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I mean, I do subscribe to the innocent until proven guilty theory, so we'll still wait for the verdict. But I mean, even otherwise, if those are true, then he deserves the harshest and strictest punishment possible. But so all getting aside, that said, but now I suppose Mendy probably wasn't going to start a left back anyway in this game. I suppose if you put Kyle Walker at right back, then I guess your two options are Joao Cancelo and Zinchenko. I guess Cancelo will probably be the left back because I don't think Pep trusts Zinchenko anymore. Your front three, Gaurav. So I guess now we've seen Ferran start as a striker. Do you think he'll continue there, or do you think Pep might be thinking, well, Jesus played well in the right wing, maybe I play him as a striker and put in Mahrez on the right wing? What way do you think he'll go?
According to his press conference, is not going to change, Jesus' position. He already said Stones is fit. Actually, he's fit to start, but Pep said that Laporte is going to continue because of his, performance in the largest game. So I don't think the front three will be changing as well. It will be Grealish on the left, Ferran up top, and Jesus on the right.
Yeah, and I guess you don't want to change too much against Arsenal, but if there is a team that might help you score goals, I think it's Arsenal at the moment. That might we want to get some confidence back defensively. All right, let's look at score predictions. Gaurav, your prediction for this one?
I think 2-0. 2-0 to City.
To City. Okay, 2-0 to City. Sagar?
3-0 to City.
City. Nishikant, I'll change it for you. I want to ask you a prediction, but because you said City will win. But what is a good result for Arsenal in this game? Like, what is the
draw?
Let me say the minimum. Yeah, the minimum level, not the best result, but like the minimum acceptable good result for Arsenal. What would be the minimum acceptable? How many goals do you think they should concede, or what would the goal difference be for them to say, you know what, it's not a bad result?
A 1 goal difference would be. Losing by 1 goal difference would be acceptable, but more than that, I think what fans want is to see a challenge, to see them trying to win the game, right? And Arteta should not make those bizarre decisions, that costed them the game against Chelsea, right? That was completely on the manager, that game. Obviously, players didn't perform as well, but that was more a tactical loss than anything else. So they would want to see a challenge from their players on the pitch, and probably a more organized setup than what they had against Chelsea. A back three has worked for them, right? Relatively better than back four, so they should switch to that. So I think if fans see those things and they don't lose too big, that would be some sort of progress. Draw, as I mentioned, as you said, would be the best result, and I agree with that. Draw would be the best result.
Well, the win would be the best result, but I mean, the best realistic result is probably a draw.
Yeah, the most realistic best result is draw.
Okay, Aakash, let me ask you: if you're an Arsenal fan, do you take a boring 1-0 defeat where you just concede 1 goal against City, and you don't ever look like scoring, but you keep it to 1, or would you take a 3-1 defeat? Which one would you prefer?
It doesn't
entertaining 3-1 defeat where you try to attack.
Yeah, I mean, 3-1, of course. I mean, ultimately, you're not getting any point for a loss of 1-0 or 3-1. So I would rather have Arsenal give 100% and lose 3-1. So yeah, that's for me. But I also think they will lose by a considerable margin, because I think Ben White is certainly not available, and I think so is Gabriel. If I'm not sure, he was also not fully fit. So I'm not sure if they'll play a back three.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they might. Well, I guess Tierney is not available either, right? He's injured as well, so he would have probably been the natural left center half. So yeah, they may not even have people to play back three. But anyway, let's move on. Yes, August is occupied a little bit, but we'll move on.
I'm so sorry, my daughter had just.
Yeah, well, it's totally fine. Yes, we understand. All right, let's move on to let's quickly talk about West Ham before we move on. Gaurav, surprised you? I mean, 4-0 against Leicester. 4-1 against Leicester. That was a surprise result. I mean, Leicester were down to 10 men, but a bit surprising. 2 wins out of 2 and doing quite well in second season.
Well, if you look at their squad, I think they had the quality last season as well. Like since last season, they had some good players, and they can actually finish in that 5th or 6th spot maybe if they perform well. So not really surprising, but Yeah, they are actually performing above their expectation right now.
Yeah. Nishikant, what's your expectation from, I don't know if you've seen Said Benrahma, but he's been on fire for the first 2 games. You think they need Jesse Lingard? If they've got Said Benrahma, do they need Jesse Lingard? I mean, it comes down to that, doesn't it, now with Jesse?
Yeah. I mean, it would be good to have a backup, right? It's always good to have a backup, good to have a deeper squad. So, definitely Jesse Lingard would be a good signing for them. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, Benrahma is definitely first choice for now. So even if they have Jesse Lingard, I don't think he displaces Benrahma as long as he continues to play the way he has been. But it would still be a good signing in order to increase the squad depth that you need in Premier League now.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about the big game for this weekend, Liverpool against Chelsea. And as the caption on my thumbnail says, it's a battle of title contenders. According to me, I think 2 title contenders. Let's start with Liverpool. Sagar, I'll ask you this question. Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy with the refereeing against Burnley. Is that a concern? I mean, the fact that some of the fouls, what do you make of the refereeing so far? What do you make of Jurgen Klopp's? Does he have a point? Does he have a leg to stand on?
See, as far as Klopp is concerned, I have never seen him happy with the refereeing. He always, sort of he's a complaining types, but not taking yeah. So, but yeah, I think refereeing, there's a scope for improvement, but let's see, it will take its own time. So yeah.
I mean, again, we always come up with this question with Liverpool because they seem such a settled squad. I don't even know what to ask you because I pretty much know who's going to start, maybe 1 or 2 iterations. But Gaurav, would you start Harvey Elliott for this game? Because he played in the last one against, who was it? They played against Burnley. I mean, it's Burnley, yes. But he did play well. Would you continue with him? Or would you try to maybe switch it up? Because you got Henderson, I guess. Henderson, the midfield 3 is what? Henderson, Keita, and Elliott. So, yes. Yeah, would you bring in Thiago? I mean, I guess, no, was it Keita or was it Fabinho who started?
It was Keita.
Oh, yeah, Fabinho's not available, right? Yeah, because of his the tragic incident with his father, yes. So would you keep that? Would you bring in Thiago for Elliott? Would you keep Elliott?
I think he should keep Elliott, when everything is going right, and you should change the starting 11. And he played really good. I think he was the best player among those 3 players in the midfield. So maybe take out Keita and replace him with Thiago if you want that extra bit of creativity. But Elliott should definitely start.
Yeah, small thumbs up. No, that means thumbs up mean that I can make him. But anyway, Nishi, time for Kante to start this one. Should he start? Is he ready?
Kante should start. I think Tuchel didn't start him. He was just being cautious, but he's 100% fit. Has been training for some time now, so I don't think fitness is any more an issue. And this is one game where we need to be on top in our midfield, right? So Kante Jorginho partnership is what will give us that. So I fully expect Kante to start. I want him to start.
Yeah, it's that midfield battle because Liverpool will have 3 midfield. Chelsea will have only 2 technically. I mean, probably Mount.
And if Fabinho is mentally in the right place, then I would think he might start, and that would be a very big advantage for Liverpool. The biggest advantage they have now is they don't have anyone injured. I think except Curtis Jones. I don't think anyone else is injured. I think maybe Milner. So, but I don't think Milner was never a first choice anyway. Yeah, it's squad player. So their main team, like you said, it's very stable. Right? So this is the game wherein we'll get to know Chelsea's level, see if we can really compete. Right? This is, like you said, battle of title contenders, and that's exactly what it is. So whoever wins this game will have. It's still way too early in the season, so I don't think a loss for either side is anything like all is not lost, even if you lose, but definitely a huge psychological advantage for whoever wins going into the season. So this is where we'd see how far Chelsea have come, and whether we are ready to mount the title challenge as all Chelsea fans and everyone else has been expecting. So so I would say field our best team against Liverpool.
Yeah, I remember. I just remembered. I forgot to put my prediction for the City game, so I think it's only 4-0 to City. But I will not change it this time. No matter who's playing, who's not playing, it's only 4-0 to City. We will see what happens. Anyway, Aakash, talking about Chelsea. So you got Mount, Havertz, Lukaku, and I guess the question of Werner. So do you stick with Mount, Havertz, and Lukaku for this one, or do you bring in Werner maybe for Havertz? I guess the only person he's going to come in is probably for Havertz. Do you bring him in?
I would rather stick with the same 11 because and probably just shift the midfield. Like if Kante is fit enough, then sure. Because I think Lukaku is a game changer. Like obviously he's not a player he was. Like he has won the title in Serie A and he has come to Chelsea and its intent is to win the league. So I think he has like revolutionized himself and he has improved in all aspects, which obviously makes Chelsea like one of the favorites to win the league. Yeah. So, and I think he is the one who can like bully Van Dijk. Since Van Dijk was out of touch since like last 8 to 10 months, I think it's a very good chance for him to like take the opportunity and just to get past him comfortably. So I think they should just stick to what they were doing earlier and not make any like changes which are not necessary.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only way Werner comes in is if he probably decides maybe he wants more pace.
I think we should have Werner.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And the reason is Van Dijk. Because with Lukaku, so it's a battle between Lukaku and Van Dijk, right? And Kai Havertz is a fantastic player, but with Werner on the pitch, that gives Liverpool another thing to worry about, is his pace. So I want their defenders to be distracted, whether to go for Lukaku, go 2-on-1 on him, try to not let him hold the ball as much as he did against Arsenal, or try to see where Werner is moving, because they can't afford to give him space. So I want them to want to create that distraction in the Liverpool back line. And that's why I would say Werner should be in instead of Havertz.
All right, that's a very interesting point from Nishikant, and he's a Chelsea fan, so we kind of maybe he knows something that we don't as he watched the game. Gaurav, I should say I just thinking as they're not title contenders, City are going to walk away with this. Maybe maybe they will, maybe they won't. But Liverpool, I mean, what is the goal? I mean, as we saw Liverpool play Chelsea not a few months ago. That was for last season, and Chelsea won. In the whole of the Tuchel revolution. What do you think? Klopp will have some special plans to try to counter what Tuchel brought in the last game? Do you think he needs something different, or do you think he's going to think, well, I didn't have the players that I wanted because of injuries. Now I've got that, so I don't need to change anything.
I think like he didn't have Van Dijk. He didn't have the other centre back.
Matip.
Yeah, Matip. So this is the time he has a fully fit squad, and I think it's too early in a season. Big games when they come early in the season, managers want to play safe. Like they're okay with a draw. They don't want to drop. Like they don't want to lose and drop 3 points. So I think he might play a little safe. Not as expanded football as we see from Liverpool. But I think maybe they could come out with a win.
Liverpool, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a very interesting point. All right, let's just go predictions. Aakash, what do you think is going to be the score?
I think it will be a boring draw. I would say either 0-0 or 1-1. That's it.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right, Nishikant, what do you think?
2-2. I don't think it'll be a boring game.
Yeah, it won't be a boring game. It'll be a draw anyway. Yeah. So one will be a boring draw. One will be an exciting draw. We still got draw 2-2.
It's probably a draw. We are very evenly matched teams.
Sagar.
Well, not taking anything away from Chelsea, but I think it will be 2-0 for Liverpool. I sent some goals from Mohamed Salah.
Salah. Yeah. Will he celebrate against his former club? We do not know.
Even Firmino is back in form now.
Is he? I thought it was Jota is the one who.
I think he scored.
Jota starting.
But I would love to see Jota, starting over Firmino because he's in a good touch.
So. I think he should. I think he scored goals in both the games. I think he definitely should be starting. I don't think there's any, unless they go at a 4-2-3-1. I don't see any reason why Firmino should be starting this game, at least from the start. But anyway, Gaurav.
2-1 to Liverpool.
2-1 to Liverpool. So we got we got 2-0 to Liverpool. We got 2-1 to Liverpool. 2 draws. You know what? I think this is going to be a walk in the park for Chelsea.
I was waiting for
That's
that.
what they're gonna do.
I'm not sure if you have. I'm not sure if you have, those kind of jinxing powers, which
No. You
Nishikant
know what?
has.
No,
But
I want Chelsea. No. I want Chelsea to do well. So I'm gonna predict a Liverpool win. Because because that's the way it goes with me. No, but I feel like it's hard to say though. It's really hard to say, but I think it might just be 2-1 to Liverpool. That's what I'm thinking. It might just be. I think it'll be 2-1 to one team. My mind is telling me that Liverpool might pull this off. I just have a very bad feeling about Liverpool this season, that they're going to win the league. That's a bad feeling about it. But anyway, all right, that's what I think. But anyway, all right. So on that note, we got 2 more games to cover. So let's move on to the next one. Tottenham against Watford. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Tottenham, but decent start. They should have probably picked up 3 points against Wolves. Nishikant should probably picked up 3 points.
Yeah, they should have. But again, like I mentioned in our last game show, that these teams are evenly matched, right? Yeah. So, not a surprise there. Whom are they playing this weekend?
Watford.
Yeah, they should be winning that.
Yeah. I don't think the conversation will be the game though. Aakash, Harry Kane's mindset: score 2 goals against Pacos in the Conference League. Looks like, he must be looking at Ronaldo and thinking, there's a guy who can do whatever he wants and goes to a club. And yet I am stuck in one place. Harry Kane, what's his mindset got to be like? I know he's probably going to be feeling happy on the outside. He's going to score goals and he can do all that. But inside, what must he be thinking right now?
I think, obviously he wanted to move to City, but Daniel Levy, as we know, is a tough negotiator. But I think he must have accepted the fact that he's staying at Spurs, and I think he's loved by the fans, so it shouldn't be much of an issue for him solely because of his quality, as we have seen in the last few years that he's banging like 20-25 goals in a season. So I think he'll be the key for Spurs, and they will coast through the game. Probably he will score like 1 or 2 as well, and it takes time for a player to when he feels cheated because he thinks there's a gentleman agreement and then there's like a betrayal. But like obviously we don't know the whole story, what goes behind the scenes, but I think it shouldn't be an issue for a player like Harry Kane. He's obviously a leader in the dressing room and he's a vocal captain as well. Not only for Spurs, also for England. So I think he's mature enough to deal with this stuff.
Yeah. Gaurav, I guess as far as reintroductions in team goes, you can't get anything much better than starting with Pacos and then playing against Watford. And so starting against City, maybe or Wolves, 2 teams who defend very well and don't get your goals. I think it's a good way to kind of indicate yourself that you can get a few goals, you get your confidence going, and then you go away with England, maybe do well there, and then look where the season takes you. Gaurav, are you? Gaurav, can you hear us?
Gaurav, you're on mute.
No, he's not talking.
No, I think his frame's frozen.
Oh, now it's frozen because his frame wasn't frozen a minute ago. Now it's frozen for me. Okay. All right, we'll leave Gaurav on that. Then we'll come back to him. In the meantime, let's do score predictions for this one very quickly. Sagar, what's your prediction?
I think 4-1 to Spurs.
1 to Spurs. Aakash?
I'll go for 2-0.
2-0. All right. And we got Gaurav coming back. Nishikant?
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I think it'll be 3-0 to Watford. I think Harry Kane might score a hat-trick though. Something. Wow, we've got 2 Gauravs coming in. Hey Gaurav. Yeah, welcome back.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's totally fine. I was just going to ask, we're doing score predictions. I'll ask you for a score prediction, but also I was going to say that as far as reintroductions go, it's a good thing to start off maybe against Pacos and then against Watford, and then you go away with England and you do well there, and then maybe you come back and start to look where the season goes, as opposed to starting maybe against City and not having such a good game or something like that. It's a good way, isn't it, to start for Harry Kane, to restart for Harry Kane?
I think it definitely will. Like the quality he has, he will be up there competing for the Golden Boot, and this is maybe the perfect game for him to get back and get the fans behind him again because of the controversy that he created. So I think it will be a 3-0 or 4-0 win for Spurs, and Kane
pretty much on point.
At least 2 goals.
Yeah, probably score a couple of goals. Yeah, that's pretty much on point, I guess, for offer breaks. So we're kind of like, aside from the Chelsea-Liverpool game, I think we're all on the same page. But even the Chelsea-Liverpool game, we're pretty much on the same page with what's going to happen. Is the Premier League becoming too predictable? I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to the last one. Let's move on to Wolves against Man United. And we all know where the focus is going to be, and maybe there'll be another crowd unveiling, but there's a game to think about. Sagar, this is it. This is it in the sense that there's a record to be chased. The most consecutive away games unbeaten. There's a record to be chased. There's a big signing that's going to be paraded. The fans are going to be happy. There's obviously probably going to be a full debut for Rafael Varane. The conditions are right for United to lose this game now. We all know that's what's good. That's what's coming, right?
Spot on. You're absolutely spot on. Yeah.
How do the players focus now? Because there's a lot of off-field talk. How do the players focus on what's going to happen on the field?
Yeah, it's going to be tough because Wolves, they have always troubled us. So and plus we are playing it away. We are playing away.
Oh, that's why there won't be any parading. So yeah, sorry about that. There won't be any parading. It's in a big
parading, and the atmosphere is going to be hostile. I think so. I'm not expecting a lot of big things, but yeah, Varane will be starting his first game, hopefully. So at the least I can hope for is a clean sheet. So that's about all.
Yeah, I think that it's a tricky one. Nishikant, I mean, Wolves have lost their first two games. If I'm mistaken, they've lost both games. They've got a new manager, and I think he wants to play attacking football. I think Bruno wants to play attacking football. Does he probably say, you know what, pragmatic football has worked against United, I'm going to change? Or does he go, you know what, I'm just going to stick with my principles for this one?
I think they'll be a bit more cautious in their approach because they have lost their first two games. So Wolves would want to try to at least get a draw here and get something, or so they'll be motivated not to lose their game. But I think United are pound to pound much better team than Wolves. So I would say 2-1.
We're not doing score predictions
on their
yet.
day.
Yeah, Nishka, we're not doing score predictions.
So I'm just saying it's going to be that kind of game because Wolves on their day can cause problems to anyone, right? So it could be a cagey affair because United players might have that, chip on their shoulder to break that record of, so that, and media would put that additional pressure on it. You go anywhere in social media, it's all about how United can break a record and create a record of most away wins, the longest unbeaten record or something. Yeah. So that could play in the back of their mind, but I would still think that United would win. I wouldn't say it would be a walk in the park this time. But
see, this whole thing where I was going to say that we have 4 people today because we only need 3 for the United discussion because Nishikant is banned, but then I completely forgot about that. But anyway, that was on me. But yeah, I mean, Nishikant's always jumping the gun with score predictions, so we know we won't have to ask him about that. Aakash, Ollie was asked about Donny van de Beek. He's now not in that squad, which I think is just amping up that pressure on him. But he was asked about Donny, and he said that they've spoken. They want to. He might start. He was a bit iffy. Like it was a bit like an answer without giving an answer. McTominay is out. That's for sure. He's not going to play. Do you start him in this one? I think he should. But do you think he will? Do you think he should start? Do you think he will start in this one?
I don't think he will start. So, like, he obviously hasn't played a lot of minutes with United, not this season and not the previous season as well. But so the thing is with United is like they started off really well against the first game, winning by like 4 or 5 goals, and then they were held off by Southampton. So they'll be itching for a win here, and I believe that Sancho and Varane both will be starting. So those two are like new players, and they need to have like minutes in the belt. So, and even with Van de Beek, he hasn't had a lot of minutes as well. So like just making like too many fresh faces in the lineup would not be good when it comes to like facing a good side as Wolves. So I can't see Van de Beek starting, but I hope he comes on like in the 60th minute mark at least to have some minutes in the belt, so probably he can have a few minutes later on this season.
Yeah, it's just poor Donny van de Beek, isn't it? Even the fans now don't believe that he can start games. Like it's a resignation to what his career might be going. But anyway, Gaurav, is there any? I mean, there obviously Martial is one key question. I don't think he will start. I don't think he will start if Sancho starts. What must he like? Where is his career now going? Do you think he needs to start thinking about his future at United, or do you think he still has a spot at the club?
I think he should be looking to move on, especially with Ronaldo coming in, and he's going to be a first choice striker, I think. for this season, maybe next season as well if he performs well this season. So he should be looking away from a move from United. He has become stagnant. Really, he hasn't grown as a player in last 2 or 3 seasons. Like he was really good in the first season. When he was compared with Andre. We all know Thierry Andre, and he has. I think he could be a good player, but he's too inconsistent. Similar to what we expected from Jesus.
A good player who is too inconsistent. That sums up United's transfer business for a long time. Now, good players who are inconsistent. But I get your point, Gaurav. I do get your point. Yeah, I think this is. I don't know. Maybe Martial will get some 20-30 minutes in this one. In the Wolves one, I think that'll be a crucial 20-30 minutes. If he gets on the field, he's got to do something to keep himself in his mind. Otherwise, he's going to be a forgotten man. But we'll see.
Can I ask a question? Because you mentioned about United transfer policy.
Sure.
What's your take on Glazers now? They got you Sancho, they got you Varane, now Ronaldo is back. Yeah. They're not shying away from investing for sure. So what's your take on Glazers now?
Does anyone want to answer? I can answer this, and I can say that my position has not changed, and that I still think the Glazers need to do a lot more. I think this is one transfer window, one summer window. They've done well, and I think we have to say yes, they've done well. But this is something that needs to happen because you look at City, right? That's the benchmark. I think City and Chelsea are the benchmarks. Last season, Chelsea did what? They bought Werner, they bought Havertz, they spent big money. What they did do this season, they go and they bring Lukaku because they need a striker. They go and bring Lukaku, right? What United will probably have done in the past is they've spent a lot of money in one transfer window, and then when it comes to the next one, they're like, we spent a lot of money in that one. We're not going to spend. We're going to spend 30-40 million, right? Like what they did with all these first summers. They went and bought Maguire. They got Maguire. They got Van Bissaka, big signings. And then last season they squinted out and they said we're not buying. Like they just bought Donny Van de Beek, right, for 40 million. So I think we need to see more. I think this is I'm cynical enough and skeptical enough to say that this is because they feel pressure from the fans and they're hoping the fans will forget about it next summer. But it needs to happen every summer. Every summer the United need to make not necessarily big £100 million signings, but they need to make sure that the signings that they make are important to the squad and that they give the manager the kind of players that he wants. Anyway, that's my take on it. I'm happy, Aakash and Sagar, if you have any supporting views or contrasting views.
No, I completely agree. Yeah,
Aakash.
No, it's okay. Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we all agree. Yeah, that's just what we think. Yeah, well, we'll blame Chelsea and City for making us raise our expectations of what our owners should be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Our owners have spent 1 billion and we don't have a striker.
You don't need a striker. You have won the league title without
now
a striker.
They do.
I seriously don't understand how can you spend 1 billion.
No, they do.
Pounds, they do have a striker. We haven't signed a striker since 2015. Like Donny was our last signing, and we have moved on. Probably the best player in our history in Aguero, and we haven't replaced him.
You did sign Jesus. You just don't play him as a striker, but he was signed to play.
But that was 5 years ago.
But see, that was into 5 years, 2016, right? In 2017, 4.5 years. Yeah, 4.5 years. See, the thing is, it's like United saying that they don't have midfielders. The thing is, we have midfielders, we just don't play them. Like Donny Van de Beek never gets on the pitch, and other players just don't get on the pitch, right? It's something that's interesting. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, the striker thing is an interesting one. I just feel that at the moment there are not that many great strikers out there that you could probably go and buy. Everything is either a proven striker who costs a lot of money and is probably old, or somebody who's like unproven and you're kind of taking a risk. And I think I don't think City at the moment are a club that take risks on players. I think they like to buy players that they know they can do it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe God, if you have a different one, you look at City, but it just feels to me like they would rather buy someone that they know is going to give them a specific output. Anyway, I think Gaurav is again frozen. So but anyway, anybody else wants to answer that question about? There we go.
I think they'll have to first, look at buying a new left back because I don't know what the future holds now for Benjamin Mendy.
I think even with the future, I think they still would have wanted a new left back. Gaurav, do City need a new left back? Do they need a new left back? I mean, they have got two still, right? They still got two left backs. You're muted. You're muted.
Not this season, I think. I mean, we have Zinchenko, we have Cancelo who can play there. Ake can also play a bit part role,
and Laporte as well.
Laporte as well, right? So not this season, but we will need a left back. I think next season maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, I was saying, God, I was talking about City's transfer policy regarding strikers. They don't seem to me like a club that takes risks on players. They sign players that they know they want. I mean, I don't know if you have a different opinion on that as a
I
fan.
mean, a lot has changed since we signed Pep. Like, before Pep, we have 3 or 4 strikers. Like, we had at the time we had Dzeko, Aguero, Tevez, and Balotelli. And then in the Pellegrini, we had Dzeko, Negredo, Jovetic, and Aguero. And then we tried signing. I mean, we signed Boni, and we thought he would be a good signing, but we all know how
He
it
was
turned out
pretty
to be.
good before you guys signed him. I don't know what happened.
He didn't
to
fit
him
in our
after that.
system,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Kind of player who
He
would
was
look
very
good in
good
an
at
average team.
Swansea.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even after leaving you guys, I don't know where he is right now.
He went
When he
back
was
to
at
Swansea, it
Swansea,
didn't work out again. Yeah. I
yeah,
think he
yeah.
got fitness issues as well, which generally happens when you go to a big club
And
sometimes.
you guys had Iheanacho, right? Even you sold him too.
Leicester.
He
Yeah.
was a
Yeah, Pep,
decent.
Pep,
Yeah,
Pep, Pep, Pep didn't rated him,
yeah.
actually. He had the same problem as of Lukaku that time. His first touch was really poor and didn't, get really involved. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Well,
He's a
anyway,
good player now.
we'll keep our eyes peeled on City striker situation. I feel like Pep is going to probably go like, you know what, I don't need a striker now because I've got 2 players who and maybe one player said no, one player never, they approach whatever they want to say. But I just feel like Pep is not going to be like, I don't want a striker because I don't want to go through that again. For myself and for my players, I don't want to go through that again, which I think
Actually,
makes sense as well.
Pep actually said in his press conference today that he never made an offer for Kane because Levi wasn't interested in negotiation. They asked if they would be open to selling him, and he straight
Kane
away
is a
said
lesson
no.
to every footballer around. Right? Don't sign 6 years contracts and without a release clause, especially if your president is known to be tough negotiator like Daniel Levi. There are
Actually,
no gentlemen in this game anymore.
I think if he
It's a
had an agent
business.
like Mendes, then he would have moved to
Obviously,
City.
yeah. Don't have a good agent. Don't have your brother as your agent. If they're not qualified, right?
Yeah.
So have a good agent and think before you sign a deal. Don't get emotional by signing a deal.
Yeah, and those are some good points that Nishikant makes. Maybe Nishikant can be a football agent going forward. He can be
I
a
like
football
that.
agent. Maybe some of the players. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a very difficult task. But anyway, on that note, I think we've got all of our games covered. So we're gonna bid adieu at this point. So thank you so much, Nishikant. Thank you, Aakash. Thank you, Sagar and Gaurav. Hold on. Did we do score predictions for the United Bulls game? We didn't do them, did we? No, we kind of just got off track a little bit.
I kind of said 2-1.
Yeah, Nishikant said it, which doesn't even matter because I don't consider his predictions anymore. Okay, let's do that quickly. Sagar, what's your prediction for this one?
1-1.
1-1. Yeah. Gaurav?
Yeah.
2-0 to United.
2-0 to United. Akash?
I think we'll win comfortably 2-0.
Oh my god. Okay. Win comfortably means that's one of the worst words to win comfortably. No. 2-0 to United. There's a bit of a wave of positivity at the moment on the club, so I can kind of understand where that's coming from. I think it's gonna be 2-1 to Wolves. I think that's what it's gonna be. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Wolves. United will, like I always feel that happens where United go behind, then they score a goal, and everybody starts to think they're going to win, except against Southampton, they didn't score. And I think this time Wolves are going to go on the counter and get a goal. I've always had this fear about teams doing that United, so I think they'll lose 2-1. I just feel like everything is conspiring towards them losing and fans trolling United for that. So I think that's just how things are working out. But anyway, on that note, thank you so much, Sagar. Thank you so much, Gaurav, Aakash, and Nishikant. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining today. It's great to have you, and all the best to all
Pleasure
of you.
Being here.
Yes, and since none of you guys are playing each other, or none of us are playing each other, our teams are playing each other. So all the best to all of you for your teams to do well and hopefully get some positive results. And we'll hopefully see you again for the review show. So we'll keep an eye out for that. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't checked out the Cristiano Ronaldo welcome video, do check that out. It's a wonderful watch that one as well. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and share to this channel and this video if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned because we've got a lot of more content coming up as well. The Champions League draw came out, which we haven't even talked about at all, and that's going to be interesting. We're going to do some stuff for that as well when the Champions League resumes and all of that. Maybe that banner behind Nishikant's background, I might have to change next year. Maybe it will have to be updated with the new year. We'll see what happens. But anyway, take care, guys. Have a good night or day, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.